34-year-old Jonathan Wyatt from Wellington, New Zealand is arguably the best mountain runner in history. Jonathan has won 5 world championships in the sport, but Jonathan's accomplishments don't stop on the mountain. His times of 3:43 for 1,500 meters, 13:27 for 5,000 meters, and 27:56 for 10,000 meters put him among the world's best in those disciplines as well. Jonathan is also a 2:13 marathoner and competed in both the 1996 and 2000 Olympics. With 5 world titles already under his belt in mountain running, Jonathan hopes to make another crack at the Olympic marathon in 2008 in Beijing. Following his second win on Mount Washington this year, Jonathan gave me this interview.
Why am I here? Yeah, I was asking myself that question as I was about halfway up Mount Washington today. So I'm Jonathan Wyatt from New Zealand, Wellington, and yeah, it's my second year out here at Mount Washington to try myself against the hill.
How many times have you been world champion?
5 times now, yeah.
5 times world champion.
Yeah, that's right.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, it seems like I'm old now, doesn't it? But,
no,
yeah.
you're still young.
Yeah, but yeah, I started mountain running in 1998 and I was hooked, so just kept at it for the last, it's about 10 years now. Yeah.
And where are you headed tomorrow?
Back to Italy. I live in Italy with my girlfriend there, and we race and train out of a little town called Ciano di Fiemme.
What's your diet look like?
Well, I think, you know, any healthy athlete, any runner needs just to have a lot of balance and just eat good natural foods. I always worry a little bit these days. We don't really know what we're eating with all the preservatives and everything in the food, but you know, one of the things I love about Italy is it's possible just to go to the market and buy good vegetables and yeah, just get really good healthy food.
Do they even have an organic distinction or label, or is it just people don't even use pesticides, I've heard?
Yeah, I mean they do. You've kind of got to know where they're coming from. Like there are obviously, yeah, there are some parts of Europe where they use a lot of chemicals, and so yeah, it's better to buy it locally if you can. And we even have our own vegetable gardens.
Oh, you do? Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so we're loving that. Yeah.
That's great.
But in terms of like what I eat before a race, I would. Morning of a race, I don't like to have too much food, but I try and just have some toast with some honey, you know, a bit of try and get your carbohydrates, you know, keep your fuel stores up, but a little bit of sweetness there, a banana. Just keep it simple.
What about the night before? Do you carbo load or do you do anything like that?
Typically I don't, and I've never really done that. Yeah, I mean I've never been too strict on you know exactly what I eat leading up, but yeah, I'm conscious for longer races to try and make sure I have a bit more carbohydrate in the days leading up, but I certainly don't do the protein versus the carbohydrate.
Yeah. Awesome. So you're going to come back next year?
I would love to come back next year, but
awesome.
You never know. I mean, my schedule is really busy, and but it's one of the races that is kind of, I would say, in my top 10 of races that I do. So if it's possible, I'll come back.
You've raced all over the world. How does this race rate as far as competition and as far as the course itself?
Yeah, I think the course is actually one of the harder courses. Not because it's the steepest one I do, but when you're running on a road race, you just have to be really consistent. You get no rest on this race. There's another race in Austria called the Kitzbühel Hornlauf, and that's another race which I put on about on the same level as this. The road is about the same steepness, and it has that thing which you only get on road races where you've just got to keep one foot in front of the other.
Churning over.
Yeah.
What do you have in your hand? What is that?
Oh, you're right. Well, yeah, some very generous guy gave me this natural bar. And I've had one before from an independent source, so I know they're good.